Hello, fellas, and welcome to another week of G-Man recaps. If I'm counting correctly, it's week 5, and with me is the one and only, the fabulous, let me look up what you're playing, the best Skaven team in the division.
uh, yeah.
Yeah, the guy you're hearing is Pinosaurus.
Hello, Hindus. Hello, Internet. It's an honor, and what a moderation. Thanks.
Yeah, I always do the best I can. I hope your mom is watching, so.
I feel honored. I'll send her the link.
So how have you been enjoying your season?
Oh yeah, the season so far has been great. I had a great start, was pretty far up until this week. Actually, I dropped from I think it was place 2 to place 6 or something. So it's getting a little bit downhill, but so far I enjoying it very much. I like all the people in my division. I had some great games. Yeah, pretty good.
And I think I heard news about one of your players. I think he died.
No,
No, no,
actually,
was it a different division? I thought I heard something about a natural one turner dying, but it could very well be that I'm confusing it.
I actually never rolled a plus movement on the gutter runner, so it couldn't have been me.
I already like you much, much more. No, I think is G-Man free? No, no, I'm not sure. One Skaven team is like sitting at 2 natural one turners.
Oh
And
wow,
that's
yeah.
no, and I think it's actually 8B, like a fresh division team with 2 move and up gutter runners. It's
Yeah, even
absolutely
I'm as
disgusting.
a scavenging coach, I'm a little bit disgusted from of that.
So, how do you like your team? Are you happy with it?
I'm obviously very happy with my storm vermins. One of which hardtag I leveled myself. Pretty good one as well. But obviously the star of the team is Spike 3. I was very lucky to get him from the player market. So he's doing a lot of work for my team. I have 2 of my pretty much original gutter runners, which are leveled and very good too. The other 2, yeah, could do a little bit better and could use some development, but it's actually pretty hard since the games are always so close and tense in this division. I don't get a lot of opportunity to actually farm and target SPPs. So yeah, could definitely do a little bit better on the runners.
Yeah, I think the runners look fine as they are. As long there's no stat ups, I'm always happy.
Yeah, I
And
have I had some mutations, but no setup so far. Goldfish actually had a Aggie up, but I think he died in the post-season punch-up, so between college and minors. So yeah,
yeah, I see you're rocking 2 players with numbers behind the names, and I never tend to trust those players. There are actually 3 players with numbers behind them. Because,
yeah,
when you look at Cloned Goldfish 3 and you wonder, what might have happened to Cloned Goldfish 1 and Cloned Goldfish 2? I'm
yeah.
sure 3 will do much better.
Actually, all the players had just like single names before, but then they were green glowing because they were revived with the warp stones. And so this one is actually called cloned because I sold the original goldfish or goldfish number 2 to Schleiss, and then the player I got from him died as well, so I needed another one, so it was goldfish again. So, but he's cloned now because there's 2 goldfish.
Yes, well, you got a nice team. Your record so far is pretty decent. Nothing too amazing, but 2 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss is surely nothing to look down on.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty satisfied, especially with the games as they went. I could have maybe pulled one or, yeah, definitely one more win out of the draws, but hey, that's how it goes, right?
Yeah, it's, you can play for the win, but sometimes it's just safer to play for the secure 1 point.
Yeah. And it's also, like I said, I have the feeling that this division is very well balanced, and all the games so far have been really tense, really close. And also, I'm just graduated from minors, so I feel I have still a lot to learn. And yeah, every game I see, I get some new perspectives. So it's great. Yeah.
I think we're all here to learn. And, well, teach us something about your last game. How did it go?
Last game, I actually learned that it's possible to outbash chaos with Skaven.
Well, that's an interesting approach.
No, yeah, I had my game. Maybe that's we could do that first for the recap. I had the Whiskey Galore Chaos team of Kanuki this week, and it was a very tense game and so far that I, like I said, actually outbashed him with my storm vermins, but I just couldn't get hold of the ball because of his snowball monster. He
Yeah,
wouldn't.
that guy is disgusting.
Yeah, it was so hard to get through his cage and to get to the ball. So I was actually pretty happy with the draw, but otherwise I did a lot of damage to him. I
Yeah,
MNG two players and killed actually his killer.
well, I'm sure the rest of the division will be happy about that.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. But I think he was niggled before, and Kanuki also said he had a little bit of a mislevel. He just badly wanted tackle on some player for my gutters, so he put it on his killer, but he didn't have block yet. And funnily
Oh,
enough, funnily enough, that's what got him killed because I blitzed him with Spike and got I think two pushes, re-rolled it into both down, and yeah, he was missing blocks, so he died.
yeah, the apple pie approach to killers usually isn't the best idea. But you can level them fast, but they die more easily. And sometimes that's just how it goes.
Yeah,
I'm also looking at the statistics right now. Looks like you had about equal blocks, and you actually got more removals. That's
yeah.
never a good sign for Chaos when they get outbashed, but
Yeah. I think he also prepared, that's what he said, for me taking a wizard and a babe, but I actually induced Glart. So I had two claws on my team, and they did a lot of work, obviously, against Chaos.
yeah, surely it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a little surprised myself he didn't go for a wizard because rats usually enjoy their wizards very much.
Yeah, that's true, but I don't know. I checked out the teams before and the matchup, and I felt like I could really use the strength and the claw of Glart, and I was very happy I went with it. It went pretty good. Maybe I could have created an opening for the ball with the wizard. That's true, but yeah, that's just how I choose to go.
I mean, I'm just trying to say my thinking here. When I look at a player like Snowball 4, then
Yeah,
do I have good tools to get him get the ball out of his hands?
right.
And he has sure hands. He's strength 4. He has
Yeah,
blocks, so not
that's true.
really.
But I
And
think he just got sure hands. I think he didn't have it before, and I have my really good sacker with leap and everything, so I
uh,
thought I could make
yeah,
something work, but
then it's
yeah.
a different story. But I'm looking at the assurance right now, and then like if I have the wizard, I give the opponent two choices. Either he picks up with his bolt carrier, the strength 4, agility 4 piece anyway, and risks getting bolted, or he picks up with a different piece because he's scared of you bolting that. Both of those
No.
results are usually good for you. So just having the threat of the wizard is great against a player like Snowball 4 on a chaos team.
Yeah, true enough. Yeah.
But yeah, the bash game worked, so who am I to judge?
Well, it worked kind of. I didn't win the game, but yeah, I won the bash game definitely. Yeah.
Well, let's look at the team of whiskies. Uh, I myself am not a very whiskey guy, so basically
I
don't know
actually,
any of them.
yeah, I actually like whiskey and I know some of them, but I still can't pronounce most of them, so I'm not gonna try.
Yeah, I think if Snowball 4 leveled, then Sure Hands is a great choice on a piece like that. Definitely
Yeah.
can't complain about that. Did Glenn Campbell level? It's usually then you always see that I'm totally prepared for this, and yes, Glenn Campbell indeed leveled, and wrong team here. No, was it the right team? I'm getting too confused way too easily. He went again for the apple pies approach.
Yeah, for the claw. But
Now,
yeah, he got the doubles, I guess, so
well, mutations are normals on
oh, okay,
those,
okay.
so
I didn't know that. That's interesting. Good to know.
I mean, the team it got rid of the non-block players fairly quickly in this division, so it's looking
That's
better now.
true.
But I still think I think he wants to get a killer back quickly,
Yeah, that's
so
true. He's
that might be the
definitely missing.
reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But those MNGs he took in our game are not as bad because I think he has a bye week this week, so he will immediately get them back.
Yeah, I think I talked to him already about that, and he was asking me, "Hey, is it okay if I fire some players to to get better chances at the MVP role?" And I said, "Sure, you can. Feel free to hire your beastmen and try to get it on better targets."
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, other than that, yeah, his team looks pretty solid. The Case Warriors have block, one with dodge, one killy. Yeah, looks pretty good.
Yeah,
Snowball is obviously really scary.
yeah. I think Snowball 4 is the heart of the team at the moment. He's the player to worry about most if you're the opponent. Sure, Claw Mighty Blow is scary, but it's only on two players. One of them doesn't have block. You probably can deal with that unless Kanuki rolls well on the injury dice.
Yeah, that's true. And even though a lot of people don't really seem to think so, but Blood Bowl is still a game about scoring, and Snowball 4 is really good at that.
Indeed, if he gets the ball, he most likely won't give it away.
As I experienced last week, yeah.
But let's move on to the next game, and I want to
Sure.
pick out a certain one because there has been a certain guy who has been dominating the first four games,
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
and looks like he got a little speed bump there.
Yeah, the big upset of this week. Yeah,
And I think he lost a good player as well. We are of course talking about Press Wilfer and lost at the disco.
yeah,
And
his Dark Elf team. I think he lost a Blitzer, right?
yeah, I think it was the strength up blitzer. So, ouch.
Yeah, that hurts.
I mean,
That was really interesting to see because, especially, I don't really know Brett's. I think I never played against or with Brett's, so I was really surprised to see him taking that game so dominantly. But hey,
if I'm looking at Press Wilfer's teams right now, and the team is still looking absolutely disgusting. Two agility, five witch elves, a bunch of
yeah,
blotch.
the witches are so scary.
The
And I have, yep,
really surprised he actually lost against the Preds, and that's nothing against Victims of the Suns and their coach. What's the Cyber Knight is the name? Yes,
yeah, he
I
seems to,
can actually remember stuff
yeah,
sometimes.
yeah. Cybernite seems to be a great coach because despite still having only two rerolls and constantly losing blitzers, he still pulls off wins and does really good at this division. So kudos to him.
Yeah, if you look at his team, he only has one tackle, and the Darkers had like eight blotch players, I believe, something around
Yeah,
that hallmark. You're looking like, yeah, that's probably not going to go too well, but
he pulled it off. Yeah,
he pulled it off, and quite convincingly. and he didn't even need that many armor breaks.
Yeah. And also, Cyber9's team is looking really solid now, especially for the history of losing blitzers. I mean, this team looks pretty good
Yeah,
for as far as I know. Brett's, which is not at all.
yeah, I'm looking at the statistics right now. It looks like the Brits have been some ball possession advantages, but actually the Dark Elves got more removals, at least from blocks.
Oh, okay.
Curious. I really don't know how the Brits pulled this off, but they did.
Yeah, that's a replay to watch probably before I play them.
Indeed, but be careful. The recap, it doesn't stay around that long. Like
Yeah, that's true.
week
2 weeks,
10
I think.
days,
Yeah,
it differs sometimes, but
yeah, something like that.
yeah, congratulations to Cyber Knight. I think the rest of the division is very happy about your win there. And yeah, maybe you even get money to rebuy your Blitzer just so he can die
Mm.
again.
That's true. Yeah, let's see if he gets to buy his third team reroll by the end of the season.
So then we had two more games played, but let's take a look at Picking Flowers first, because they
Hmm.
got the bye week, because Nairo sadly is no longer with us.
Yeah.
And actually nothing changed. I actually know this one because I did the bye week. I was the one awarding the SPP, so I know nothing leveled. Haha.
Yeah, but I mean, he probably won't still complain about a Chorf MVP, right? So
Yeah,
still very good for him.
if I was him, especially with the money he had in the bank, I probably would have fired the two fresh hobgoblins because one of them actually stole the MVP.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Just to have better odds that it goes on better players. But
Yeah, and he has a lot of money in the bank. That would have been an option, definitely. Yeah.
I mean, he also might be interested in buying an enhancement now, since he has 250k in the bank and already has Stadium level 2. So
Yeah.
that's maybe why he didn't decide to go for it. But hobgoblins are cheap, so I probably would have.
Yeah, that's true. So what's a good enhancement for chores?
I like the Weather Dome if you only have agility 3 players. I mean, he does have Sure Hands, so it makes it a little bit easier, but
Hmm.
it's a
True.
slow team. Like a Blizzard hurts them, the rain hurts them, probably more than the other team both.
Yeah,
Sweltering heat sucks overall, like nobody wants to play in that.
that's true. Yeah. Yeah, sounds reasonable.
But yeah, I could also see a security gate against riots working, or a quick stand if you're scared of rocks. Like
Yeah.
it's the upgrades are pretty, whatever you prefer.
Yeah. Yeah, but even with the MVP on the Hobgoblin, his team looks so scary and so filthy. It's actually one of the teams I'm most scared of in the division. And I was probably fairly lucky to face him in the very first week. I pulled off a draw. So, yeah.
Yeah, I know the pain of playing this team, especially as the last one in the season, ruining your undefeated season.
Oh. Yeah, I heard that in a couple more recaps, right?
Yeah,
That sounds familiar.
for some reason it keeps on coming up when I look at the team.
I mean, it is a very scary team, and Mego is a very good coach, so yeah.
Yeah, maybe I was tempted to maybe kill a player or two during awarding the bye week SPP, but can't
Yeah,
do that. I just have to beat them sometime when I meet
yeah,
them again.
yeah, I can't abuse your power, unfortunately.
I mean, I can, but probably only once. And I'm not
That's,
sure if that's worth it.
yeah, true enough. But I'm definitely scared to meet them in the KO, or not KO, Swiss rounds of our division,
Yeah,
yeah.
did you play them again already? Yeah, I think I saw that in
Yeah.
your history. So how did that game go?
We were up in the very first week, and it was a draw, and it was a very slow and tactical game, I would say. We basically both ran away from each other and tried to not get any Kazes. I was actually pretty lucky with my AV breaks, so that my AV7 held up pretty well, and my Claw of Spike did pretty good work with his armor, so I would say I got a little bit lucky, but at the end I misplayed a little and gave him the shot for the draw, and I think it was two GFIs with a loner hobgoblin of him to get the draw, and he made it. So yeah, I forgot basically to block the hobgoblin. I thought, what can a loner hobgoblin do?
Yeah, the dead loner hobgoblin showed you what a loner hobgoblin can do.
That's true, yeah.
So, what match do you want to look at next?
Let's see. What did we? Let's look at Divine Light Templar and versus the animals.
Yeah, I think the Divine Light Templar had a nice game there, and they got some nice SPP out of the whole thing. I think Templar nearly died, from what I remember reading in Discord.
Oh,
He
okay.
got saved by the apothecary.
Oh, wow. The big star. But actually, the other players, especially Warden and Guardian, look pretty good now too. So it's not a one-man show
Yeah,
anymore.
that's what I was about to say. The team is slowly coming to the point where we can no longer call it a one-game man show. Like, both of the strength linemans are about to get block, hopefully.
Yeah.
uh, the thrower is going well, the blitzers are coming along, like, team gets more interesting and less one-dimensional.
Yeah, that's true. And Templar could still use some block or dodge himself. So
Yeah, he
yeah,
should get block next.
yeah.
Unless you roll a double, then you obviously have to go pile on for the memes.
That's true. Yeah. But yeah, the game seemed to be a pretty like close one as well. I mean, a lot of scoring, 3-2. Armor breaks seemed pretty even. So yeah, it seemed to be a pretty tense game.
Yeah, yeah, very much. So shall we look at the
The animals,
humans? Yes.
yeah. This is actually the team I'm facing this week, so yeah, let's see what they can do. I'm pretty happy he has only one tackle so far, so
Yeah, I believe I mentioned it in one or two recaps, but I'm not big a fan of going mighty blow on every blitzer for the first
yeah,
level up. I
yeah,
am a
yeah,
big fan of utility skills like tackle, guard. I mean, break tackle is not important for humans, but you get the point.
yeah, I know. Yeah, that's true. I mean, now that they have, now that all of them have Mighty Blow, it's pretty scary for me with my AV7, but I definitely see where you're coming from. Especially with the movement busted agility plus player, that's a little awkward with the Mighty Blow as well. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that player is weird, but probably not something you'd fire. Like, it came
yeah,
along, you I might have been tempted to turn down the agility 4, but it's already tough to turn down agility up on a humans team that's like agility 3 across the board.
yeah, that's true. Also, the ogre seems to be in desperate need of some SPP, but yeah, other than that, this team also, I mean, John Brown, the catcher, looks really good. He's a one-turn threat and also leveled, so looks pretty good.
Yeah, ogres or big guys overall can be really hard to level in a developed division because, like, you never want to act with them first. It's always like, I'd rather not touch him and leave him base contact than actually risking the block. And if you
Yeah,
do, it's like the last action, and it can be really hard, tough to get them up to speed.
yeah, true.
So we do have a level up pending, and it's on our guard movement catcher.
Yeah, he rolled really good. Let's see what he takes this week.
Yeah, so on a normal, what would you pick?
Phew, I'm not a big human coach, but let's see. Maybe since he has plus movement, maybe something like sprint as well, or maybe something more utility for, I don't know, Nurse's Steel or something. I don't know.
Yeah, my reasoning is he's already not exactly built into a one-turner, so I'd stay away from sprint. I'd actually really like sidestep on a player like this. He has blotch, he has guard.
True,
Sidestep
true.
would make him
Yeah,
really, really annoying. And
yeah, that's true.
even if he's just looking to score, having sidestep also helps out big time for a
Yeah,
one
yeah,
turner, for example.
absolutely. Yeah, that seems a very sensible choice.
Well, and another sensible choice for our next game is Solid Wars with no armor value against Badland Ferries, and that's not only because it's the last game left.
Yeah, that's true. This seemed to be also another very close game. Just 1-0. A lot of SPP on both sides. Or not a lot of, but quite some.
Well, let's take a look at the game. How many did they get each? Now, the MVPs look nice. I mean, Yeti
Yeah,
MVP, it is a block Yeti, so that's nice.
yeah,
BlackRock SPP are always welcome. Yeah,
yeah.
both of them with decent MVP, nothing too great, but you won't see no 211 and 12 SPP.
No. I mean, the Yeti with block and guard looks pretty good now.
I mean, when you look at the statistics and see less than 50% ball possession for both sides together, you're like, that was an interesting game. That ball went to the ground a bunch of times.
Oh, they were just busy hitting each other and didn't have time for the ball.
Yeah, that was probably the North because they got 60 blocks in against 41. That's a few blocks.
Hmm. Well,
But it looks like they forgot to play the ball. Or maybe the Orcs played the ball better. You'll never know if you never didn't watch the game.
yeah. Yeah, that's what I meant. Sometimes people tend to forget that this game is still about the ball and scoring. But apparently someone remembered and it's 1-0.
Yeah, it can go quicker than you'd expect. So let's take a look at the Orcs. How are we looking? Any levels I can see? Geppetto might have leveled. Let's take a look if that's true. No, he didn't. Tweedledum, Gretchen. I always forget who got SPP, even if I just looked
Yeah.
at the screen. But I don't think we have any levels.
No, I
But
don't think so
that Orc
either.
team is still looking great.
Yeah, I think one blitzer, Baba Yaga, died actually, right? He had one death and there's a fresh blitzer in the
Yeah,
team,
I
so.
think Baba Yaga died like the second time in like 3 games, or
Oh,
because I
yeah,
think he just lost him and then bought him, and looks like he lost him again.
yeah, Povod had some pretty bad luck. He had a great start and then it was rather rough the last couple of games, I think.
Uh, he had a really good start, that much I remember. Well, he's still 3-0-2, so that's a good placement in the division.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, pretty good.
Well, let's take a look at the Norse team on the other side. Levels. I don't spot any. Do you?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah, that happens when the Yeti steals all the SPP.
I mean, he's probably not too mad about that either, but yeah, I see. I mean, the team looks pretty solid as it is. They all have block, some mighty blows, some guard, maybe could use a little bit more, some tackle. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I prevents me from playing Norse the very little access to guard. Like, your choices are the Blitzers and the Wolves, and I guess the
Mm,
Yeti if you want to play with a Yeti. And like on the Wolves, you want block first. The Berserkers, actually, you'd prefer them to have Mighty Blow, Tackle, Pylon, because they have Frenzy and Jump Up. So it always guard falls a bit to the wayside if you don't roll doubles on linemen.
yeah. Maybe that's the reason why he picked one up on the Berserker, but I definitely see the reasoning with tackle and pylon. But I mean, he does have three tackles, so
Yeah, you get tackle on the lineman simply because, well, what else there is to pick with only normals.
yeah.
And I mean, I've been saying it for 5 weeks now, but what do you think about Ulfur the Drunk? Should he be fired?
I mean, AV6 is kind of a liability, but he seems to be up and happy running still, so who knows? I mean, as long as he is alive, I mean, it's a little bit bad if he steals SPP, but maybe he just loves the player.
I mean, I'm looking at it like that. It's a player that's costing you 70 team value. The first time he goes down, he's most likely off the pitch for a while.
Yeah, that's true.
Is this really something I want?
Probably not.
Am I planning to foul with him? Like, that might be a reason, but he has Fend, and that's still not a great use, so.
Yeah, and
Eh.
I can still fall with a fresh lineman. I don't need a AV busted lineman for that.
Exactly, and the fresh one is much cheaper.
Yeah, that's true.
So let's take a quick look at the leaderboard, where Press Wolfer is still sitting at top, but there are a bunch of people close behind him, like only 3 points, and even you are only 4 points behind him.
Yeah, like I said, I was second until this week rolled because of the wins. The guys with 3 wins now got, but yeah, I'm trying to get back up there next week.
Yeah, I'll be rooting for you. And talking about next week, what games do we have? Last at the Disco versus the Tall Dwarfs with no armor value. I don't think the Norse have the tools to deal with Dark Elves Agility 5.
Yeah, I also
I mean,
think
I did say the same about the Breds, but
they pulled it off, but it was kind of an upset. So I still think that the Dark Elves are favored here, but who knows how the dice fall. So yeah, the tall dwarves definitely have a good shot if they get some good removals early. But still, it's not as easy against blodge players. A lot of blodge players.
and if we look at the next game, we all know that when Disney princesses go out to pick some flowers, bad things happen to them.
This is actually a very exciting matchup. The two of the most scary teams in the division and most bashy teams as well. I'm really looking forward to see how this will end up going.
So you're saying you want to see stuff die?
I would not be too sad to see some stuff dying, yeah. I would maybe give the Chorfs the edge here because they just come out fresh of a bye week and the Badland Ferries get a little bit mangled, lost a player, and I think have one MNG if I remember correct. So I would probably give it to the Chorfs this week.
Yeah, I think the natural matchup between Jorf and Orcs always leans into the Jorf's favor. And I mean, if we just had a look at Miko's team, it's absolutely disgusting. And
Yeah.
tough luck. I mean, if you can pull it off forward, kudos to you. I mean, we could actually look because those teams played each other already because they were both in my last season's divisional. Let's see if we can
Oh, I
find
see.
that.
Let's see.
Uh, they drew 1-1.
That sounds appropriate.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that could
see.
very well happen in the matchup.
Let's hope there's some more damage this time, at least for one side.
But let's move on to the Victims of the Sun versus the Divine Light Templars.
Yeah, those are both like the Joker teams in the
Yeah,
division. They both had a rough start, but are really good now. So you definitely can't count out either of them. It's
yeah.
very interesting matchup as well.
To me, both of these teams are teams you're usually not saying, hey, they will win, but you always expect them to be able to pull off an upset.
Yeah, that's true.
So I guess the one who can claim to be the underdog the most will take home the win.
I guess so, yeah. Maybe I'm leaning a little bit towards the Victims of the Sun just because I'm impressed by their last game, but who knows? In this game, really anything can happen.
Yeah, I'm rooting a little bit for the Divine Light Templars simply because I played them already. They were also in my last division, so some
Yeah, he's also
history.
a very good coach, yeah, that's true.
I mean, he had the decency to lose to me, unlike Mego, so
Definitely a plus.
exactly.
Yeah.
So do we think we can make a call in the next game? Admin by Week G-Man 6 versus Whiskey Galore?
I think this is another really close one, but I'll give it to Kanuki.
Yeah, maybe
I
a
think
1-0 win, like.
Yeah, maybe. I think Kanuki is a decent enough coach to overcome the bye week.
Hey, you say that, but I know teams who have been behind the bye week in the standings for like five,
Yeah.
6 weeks.
Who knows? Maybe the admin will have some moment of power abuse again, and
Hey, what do
something
you mean
weird will
again?
happen. I mean, you were tempted, right? So
Yeah,
who
but
knows what will
I
happen?
mean, Kanuki hasn't pissed me off yet, so.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy, so I'm happy he got his bye week now that I mangled his team. I feel a little bit sorry for doing that, but hey,
So,
that's Blood Bowl, I guess.
talking about you mangling teams, do you think that will happen again against the Animals?
Oof, I really hope so, but I think it's gonna be rough. I play with 3 loners, and I think only about 150 inducements, so that's probably going to be a wizard this time. It's definitely going to be a hard matchup, but I'm happy that he only has 1 tackle, so maybe that's my opening. It will probably come down to how much bullshit my gunners will be able to pull off and how AV7 will hold.
Yeah, I think this will be one of those high-scoring games. Like at least 4 touchdowns is my prediction.
For me or for the game.
I don't care for who. I just want to see touchdowns.
Well, I'll try. I'll really try. I think it's not going to be easy, but I'm definitely going to try to win. I have to get back on the leaderboard.
Well, best of luck to you for that, and thank you very much for joining here. I know it's been a rather long one, but let's just blame that on you being a nice guy and
Oh,
being
thank you very
a
much for having me
very
and for
nice
the
fella
nice
to have here in the studio.
Thank you very much. It was very nice to be here, and yeah, maybe I'll come back at some point. And I hope we didn't bore the people watching this.
I always bore the people watching this, but for some reason they keep on tuning in, so I just blame them. It's their own fault.
Okay.
Well, with that said, see you guys next week.
See
Goodbye.
you. Goodbye.